The NBA season has been pretty up and down since the All-Star break. We've been seeing a lot of things going on, and right now it's almost been kind of like almost even hard to gauge with all the unexpected surprises that have been happening. So, taking a look at what we got right now here, we have some unfortunate news we've been covering, whether it's been injuries or just changes going on in the league. And right now, some of the biggest names currently in the NBA are not going to be available. So we've got names like Joel Embiid, who's going to be out for the season due to his knees, of course, once again. We have Victor Wembanyama, who's also going to be out for the remainder of the season as well with his blood clots. Also taking a look at the recent injuries as well in Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving, who both will be shut down for the remainder of the season. So with a lot of these stars being out, guys, how does this really impact really the league as a whole, especially like their teams? I know we've been covering a lot of news about the Spurs, really, so let's kind of talk about Wemby. What does that mean for the Spurs at this point here?
It means I got the worst take in podcast history.
The playoffs up for gone?
Yeah. They're gone.
You tank as much as possible. You lose as many games as you can and see who you can get. Because right now, I feel like their major focus is trying to get someone good in the draft, a big body that can defend and shoot. So if they can get that, then it may not all be bad. And history has shown.
Might need to trade back if they want that.
What you said?
Might need to trade back if that's what they want.
Might need to. Well, history has shown that the last time they had I think it was David Robertson, the year that David Robertson got injured, they were able to trade for one Tim Duncan. So
trade.
I mean, draft Tim Duncan. Yeah. So who knows who they can get? I don't think they're gonna get Copper Flag or anyone like that, man. I don't think they're gonna be that high up in the pick.
You never know with the lottery.
You never know.
Yeah, I was about to say the thing about the draft is the thing that I've learned about the draft, being a longtime NBA fan. The best player in the draft is almost never a top 5 pick.
Yeah,
almost never. So you can find most. If you're a good scout, you can find talent in the draft.
Yeah, man. You know, DeAndre Ayton was the number 1 overall pick in one of the most stacked drafts. It looks crazy now.
I think Bam was like the 13th pick or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So.
Exactly. So it's like the Spurs, we already know they're looking to next season. So, I mean, there's a bit of optimism, right? Especially one thing we have to really consider is, although they went 2-3, or maybe 2-4 rather, when they were paired together, Wemby and Fox, they still got a long time to really get their legs under themselves, right? So I'm sure there's plenty of team chemistry we're going to see built up with them. We're going to see a lot of development from young rising stars like Stephon Castle. And the Spurs organization is very renowned for what they've done in their careers. So I think they could really do a lot of things to shake things up to set up Wemby for success. So hopefully he gets pretty healthy next season. We're just going to wish him the best. I think the last time I can recall we even really talked about blood clots with any real superstar was Chris Bosh. I may be wrong.
It wasn't.
It was, yeah. So it's like, it's not common. But, I mean, we're just going to have to see what happens because we do have a generational star right there.
Oh, yeah. Not you wait. I'm pretty sure Brandon Ingram had a blood clot. I'm not sure. I think it was...
He did.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah. But, yeah.
And he got pretty healthy after, maybe a year or so? Maybe
yeah. Yeah, he came back that next year, and he's been fine ever since.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no, that's good to hear, then. So he should be fair. Now, next guy, I mean, he's not as lucky. Is it time to give up on the process?
It was time to give up on the process 2 years ago.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
They traded. The process was like at its peak when they drafted Embiid. He got injured. They drafted Ben Simmons. He got injured. Then he came back. They played together. It didn't work. They traded their big piece of Ben Simmons for James Harden. It didn't work. And they traded James Harden for a bunch of shit. And at that point, it was over. It's over, bro. And then when you have Embiid have his MVP season with Harden, they don't win. It's over. And now they get to a, what you would call it. They have Embiid have his best season ever. He gets hurt, comes back this year, can barely stay on the floor. It's over, bro.
Hey, BG, did you see that with the Embiid thing, the Philadelphia president of basketball operations didn't want to give him that contract extension, and Daryl Morey gave it to him anyways?
I did not know that, but that's actually even crazier. That sounds like Daryl Morey is a perfect person for the process, because just like the rest of the process is they just do shit. That is their process.
They just do shit. Nike, just do it. It's unfortunate, man. I think that last year when Embiid got hurt, I told one of my homeboys around this time, like right before he came back, because he came back around this time, but it was around like February when he got hurt, right? He got hurt in January. I think it was around like February, March. I said, yo, the NBA, you can feel the fact that the NBA misses Embiid. Like when you have a player that is that electric and that exciting, and he's doing what he's been doing the past 2 years, like putting up more points than he is playing minutes. When you have somebody doing that on a nightly basis, because I remember I kept looking up last year and I kept saying, yo, Embiid has 40 again. Like, and it was just like, when you have a guy that is in a big market and doing that, missing him, yes, it hurts the franchise. I think it hurts the NBA product, because that's somebody that, while everybody is trying to figure out who to sell as the next face, and Embiid was never going to be the next face, but whenever you're trying to sell a star, when you got a guy that's that electric and he just can't stay on the floor, it's tough.
Yeah, no.
It's very tough.
You know what, Izzy? Not say what you're going to say.
There's nothing worse than, like, when you have a franchise, because here's the thing, right? Kind of off topic, but still relatable. Off camera, we've already been talking about, especially me and you, Blake, we've been talking heavily about how we're fans of the Detroit Pistons. And a big thing that goes with it is because of the fact that Cade Cunningham transformed that franchise from a losing one into a winning one. Joel Embiid, when he got there, you have to remember, even though the Pistons had that record now, the previous team that had it was the Sixers. They literally had just had it. So you have a situation where they got a superstar who, let alone, we all saw him when he got drafted, he was not excited. He was not happy to go to Philadelphia whatsoever, but he transformed it that much. That kind of authenticity you have, especially at that high of a skill level, it's electric for the league. And it does so much for a franchise like that, especially, again, in a big market. So when you have a guy like Joel who's not there, it impacts almost everything across the board.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the thing about, like, the injury that he got it's a knee injury. And a lot of people, they may have knee issues, they may have all of this stuff continuously, because overcoming certain knee injuries is basically hard to shake off. I feel like Embiid probably got like one or couple of good years left in him at best, like at the highest level. And after that, I'm actually
going to say I don't even know if it's that, because I don't know if people are aware of this. I believe the surgery he has to get is the same type of surgery that Lonzo got, which is an experimental surgery where they do a meniscus replacement. And that right there is no guarantee that he'll when he comes back, if he'll either A, be able to play in the first place, or if he is able to play, if he'll be the same player.
I think
so. There is no guarantee of that, because you essentially remove a key part of your body and of your bone structure, and you're replacing it.
Well, what I would say to that is, the thing about Embiid is, and we're gonna get on to the other guy. I feel like because of how big Embiid is, and obviously basketball is predicated on size, I feel like he can still somewhat be at least something. Like, because of how big he is, he can somewhat be something. He may not be the MVP caliber, but he can be like a mid to low tier all-star still. Because
can he? Because look at the way his game works. He is a very finesse oriented player. That requires a lot of movement in your lower extremities. If he was like AD, AD currently, who primarily is primarily a guy who operates in the post, that would be a little bit different. But the thing about him, I think Embiid literally spent that offseason trying to learn Kobe moves. I don't think he'll be able to. Nah. Unless he really just has one of two extremes. He'll either come back damn near the same. In my opinion, I'm not a doctor, but in my opinion, I believe he'll either come back damn near the same, or he'll come back a shell of himself.
Wait, how old is Embiid?
He's 31. He's 31.
He's 30.
No, he will be 31 like a week.
Fact check me right now.
I said in a week. And he'll be 31 in a
Then
week.
he's 30.
He's practically 31.
Okay, I'm 29 and 3/4, nigga. Fuck that.
Okay.
He's 30.
So let me
hold on. He is about to be 31. Let me see his birthday again. He is going to be 31. I ought to slap this nigga. Oh.
When is he going to be 31?
He's going to be 31 in 9 days.
Fuck your 9 days.
So
he'll be 31 when he comes back.
Okay, so
no,
he'll be 31 when he turns 31. He's 30.
He will be, no, he won't.
Fuck
No,
outta
T,
here.
that's the thing. That's the thing. He won't be 31 when he comes back. He'll be 32.
Maybe, yeah, probably.
Yeah,
he won't be coming back next season. So if he won't come back next season, that means he'll be 32, going on 33. He's old.
I will say this, yeah. I feel like the only thing that is bad for Embiid is if the recovery process goes successful and he feels comfortable and he can get over that mental barrier and he's able to play and he can trust his body and this gets him over injuries. I do honestly feel because he's on the right side of 30, he could somewhat be a good player. The issue is, all of the stuff I said before about the mental barrier, the successful surgery, the successful rehabilitation. I feel like he is better equipped to come back better than the other guy we're going to talk about later on down the line, because the other guy we're going to talk about later on down the line is on the wrong side of 30 by the time he comes back.
Is he? Because I mean they'll be about the same. He's
6'1" or 6'2".
Okay, that makes more sense. I'm about to say because they'll literally be the same age when they come back.
The thing about it is, with Embiid, Blake, to back up your point, when Embiid comes back, that first year he should see what level he's at. But because he's not gonna do this right now, he's gonna be focused on rehabilitation and everything. When Embiid comes back, if he wants to take his career and still be, Embiid's a legend regardless, but if he wants to go to even a next tier of legend, there is a blueprint he can follow, and that's Bill Walton. If Embiid comes back and does the Bill Walton thing where he comes back and he can start, but he's primarily like either a 6-man big or a starting big that is on lower minutes than like mid-30s, and he just transforms his game into quick post, if I get it in the mid-range, 1-2 move pull up. You know what I mean? Like if he becomes a quicker decision maker and a more, I don't want to say role player, but if he's like a star that lessens his game, like from if he plays second banana, third banana,
I think you wanted to
he
say
can
something along the lines of
and still be
kind
a
of
star.
like a distraction, a diversion, someone that's able to
Damn, what happened?
what you call it? That's able to still strike fear into the other team without actually being a role player. But here's the thing: Embiid's got the tools to do that. The thing is,
Dude, my fucking
what T-Dub's asking is it requires. Does he have the brain, quicker decision making brain? Does he have the IQ? Because a lot of what Embiid's gonna have to do going forward is gonna be based on how smart of a basketball player is he. And obviously his game is on finesse and all that stuff. And obviously he's 7 foot. He's gonna have to. I'm not gonna lie, man. This guy's killing me in the corner. But
look at the thing. Look at the thing.
Okay, let me see. Yeah. What do you think of BG? Do you think he can do that?
I do think he could do that, but that's kind of what I'm getting at. He won't be the same.
Oh yeah.
Ultimately, my point being is that he will not be Joel Embiid.
That's what I said. I said he won't be I don't think he'll be an all-star caliber player. I think he would be. I mean, not all-star. I don't think he'll be an MVP caliber player. I think.
No, you were right the first time. You were right the first time.
You don't think he'll be an all-star caliber? I think.
No, because he won't play enough.
I think
he won't play enough.
You just talk about playing. Then that makes sense. I think he can scam himself an all-star appearance.
I don't see it.
I think he can scam himself one. Harden scammed himself one. You tell me Embiid?
Harden was not a scam. No, I can't.
No. Harden's a half scam.
Crazy.
Harden is a half scam.
He's not a scam at all.
I say he's a half scam because of. Hold on. Here's the thing. An all-star for his playmaking, for sure. I don't disagree whatsoever. But do you want me to tell you why I say he's a half scam?
Yes, I'm talking to you, Michael. Tell me why.
Why is James Harden a half scam? Because an all-star caliber player does not average 39% from the field and 33% from free in the season.
So can I ask you a question based on your own basketball caliber criteria? Mm-hmm. Why does your percentages and splits matter when you are on a winning team?
Because they're not a winning team.
The Clippers are in the playoff contention, no?
They are.
They're about to be in the 7th seed. I think they are the 7th seed now.
I think they're still the 6th. Confirm that for me. Actually, I can confirm it myself
I'm
right
now.
Here.
I'm right here.
They are the. Oh my God, they're the 8th seed.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm like, they're not a winning team.
No, let me tell you.
What winning team, bro?
You're forgetting, Cosmic. They played the Lakers twice.
No, this is before the All-Star break, though. Before the All-Star break, they were like the 6th seed.
No, but here's what you're forgetting, Cosmic. They played the Lakers twice and lost.
And it's not just that. They already weren't a great team as is. They were a team that was skirting the line because they had James Harden dishing dimes and Norman Powell carrying them on the scoring end.
Yes, Norman Powell was arguably in the most improved player conversation because he was hooping so well off the bench when in reality he didn't improve. People just didn't know he was that good. But James Harden, up until the All-Star break, was averaging a double-double. And on a team that had still less star power because they had no Kawhi Leonard and they had just lost PG, James Harden kept that team afloat. They also lost Russ as well. So in reality, for what their team was, not only are they worse than what they were last year, he still kept them in playoff contention. He definitely was an all-star.
That sounds like a Make-A-Wish all-star, man.
That sounds like a Make-A-Wish?
Okay, let me...
That's a Make-A-Wish? You're crazy.
I agree.
It's a Make-A-Wish all-star because you're giving all these reasons as to why he should be an all-star, right? But there's one thing you're not talking about.
What?
His own play. You give his own, because the thing is, he played well, but he was not an all-star caliber player. All-star caliber players do not average fucking Jamal Crawford splits.
They also don't average 10. But they do average 10 assists though.
You want me to?
So why wasn't Trae Young an all-star?
He was, but the thing is, they've been snubbing him for years though.
But that's the thing. That's the point. That's the point. If you can snub Trae Young, who is averaging, who averaged.
Who is the best point guard in the East?
Who averaged double top.
That's the East. This is in the West.
Who averaged double. That's even worse. It's the West.
But that's the thing, though. It is the West. It's like, okay, so I'm trying to think who in the West, because I'm again just thinking off the top of my head right now. So maybe I'm missing obvious names, but who in the West are we putting over James for an All-Star?
Norman Powell. Norman Powell.
That's what I said. I don't think that James Harden has been the best player on his own team this year.
Norman Powell, because like I said, hold on.
I think Norm has been the best player on the Clippers.
Okay, wait. So let me.
Scoring wise, yes.
I want to understand this. Yeah. So.
But it's like you're dropping 23 with zero assists and like 1 rebound.
Okay, so
24, 4, and 2 But I'm like, that doesn't mean anything to me though. He's a 2.
Wait.
Twos don't pass.
Wait, BG, I got a question for you. So overall, in the grand scheme of things, why do you think James Harden is a half a scam all-star? Because I just want to get that gist of out there. What's your major reason? And then I could get.
I just explained it.
No, but I want you to explain it again, because I'm T-Dub heard half of the conversation.
I'll explain it because I agree with his opinion. I know why. Because without the fouls, James Harden can't score a lick, and that's the most important thing. When you look at his assists, most of it has been due to Norman Powell and Zubac improving, and maybe half of that improvement you can give to James Harden being such an excellent point guard. I'll give you that. But to me, I don't think he's been the best player on his team. I think that's been Norm. And so, you guys may think, it's because of James that Norm is the best player on his team. But that's not, to me, that ain't it to me. To me, I don't think that, I think a lot of people gave James Harden a lot of credit because his name is James Harden. And he's been a star in the league for a long time. Because I'm not going to lie to you, the entire reason that Steph Curry got on the All-Star team over a guy like Jalen Green is because he's Steph Curry, because his numbers didn't dictate that he should have been an All-Star either this year. Just like he got that All-NBA over De'Aaron Fox a couple of years ago when he shouldn't have. A lot of these NBA award members are voting for people based on their names, and it's not that they're not having good years, but I don't think that James was having an All-Star caliber year this year.
You almost lost me here when you mentioned Jalen Green's name. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. So here's my thing. When I look at the Clippers, the Clippers can win a game without Norman Powell. The Clippers cannot win a game without James Harden.
Are we sure about that though?
I'm very confident on that.
Because I want to ask you a question. In their last 8 games, how many games do you think they won?
In their last 8 games? Well, they've had both of them, right?
Huh?
They've had both of them, or no? No, Norman. Well, first off, Norman came back and then got re-injured playing your Lakers.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. In those 8 games, how many games do you think they won?
Probably what, 3, 4?
2.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. They
struggle
without Norm.
One of them was against the Bulls. Bro, nobody.
Wait, that was when Zach Collins had an insane game though. Then they dropped 23 and 11.
That's even. You actually know that actually makes my point further. That a good game from them requires Zach Collins to go off.
But here's the thing also about the Bulls though. Since the All-Star break, though, take a look at the Bulls. Josh Giddey's been averaging almost a triple-double.
He was doing that before the All-Star break.
18 points. Anomalies happen. That's the thing.
He was doing that before the All-Star break,
Let's not downplay this. No.
I don't think it's downplay. I think that the Clippers, without Norman Powell, legitimately struggle to score.
I think you
they
can
struggle
argue
to score the ball.
Because even if you were to make the argument, they're they can't win. They're they need James Harden to win games. Well, clearly he's not the reason they're winning games. Because I'm gonna
fuck around and say it. Can I say it how I want to say it?
Go for it.
Say it.
Mm-hmm. If I take the Clippers team as presently constructed this year, and I put a starting point guard instead of James Harden, they have the same results. That's how I feel.
Ooh.
That's how I feel.
Well, hold on.
That's how I feel about it. Shit.
I'm almost there on co-signing that. But wait a minute. Who are you replacing it with? Give me a name.
Give me an example, man.
It depends. Who is a starting point guard in the league?
You know who's a hot topic?
Give me a
Put Austin Reeves right there. Put Austin Reeves right there, nigga.
No,
they're the same team. They're the same team.
I need a better playmaker than that. Give me Garland.
Cosmic. Why do you do?
Oh yeah, Darius Garland to do it.
Cosmic.
Yeah, I believe that.
No, but Darius Garland's better than James Harden right now.
I'm thinking, I'm thinking non-All-Star. I'm thinking non-All-Star.
Okay. So Cosmic, do the thing, yeah.
Put Drew Holiday right there. They're the same team.
He don't know.
That the same damn team. That the same damn
way
team.
worse.
I saw Drew. I saw
Wait,
Drew
oh,
Holiday.
wait, no.
Drew
I saw
Holiday
Drew
is
Holiday
the
2
point guard
years
on the
ago
Clippers.
go on a 10-game
These
winning
are-
streak with no Giannis.
These are two different extremes.
I'm just telling you, nigga.
I'm about to say, yeah,
I
no,
put
saying
Drew
that-
Holiday right there on
saying that
God.
way
They the
worse-
same niggas.
Saying that way worse is crazy. Saying that they're the same team is also crazy.
I got
Because
I
I'm
don't
like,
give a fuck.
because Drew Holiday better scorer than this nigga right now.
Okay, so I got Tito.
Bingo, nigga. Let's go, B. Let's go, BG. Fuck James Harden, nigga.
Because-
I'm on the
I don't
agenda, nigga.
No, I'll say it. I'm a hater, but
here's what
I'll say it.
gonna
I'm a James Harden hater. I'll say that. I know that. The thing is, though,
Wow.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. What is this? Where is this?
Yeah.
Bro. I'm sorry, bro. That man's a chucker now.
Wait.
He is a chucker.
Wait, Cosmo, you should do the thing, yeah, where you list off non-all-star point guards, and we're saying, are they better than James Harden? Because I feel like we're getting to this point, man.
It's not about being better than
Okay,
James.
You basically.
It's
Yeah,
not
that's
about
not
being
being a
better than
Clipper.
James.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
I'm saying that from a. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying that James Harden's playmaking is very important to the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that if you replace him with a worse playmaker, I think they still have similar results because their wins are coming by committee. It's not really because it's not. I don't think that James is influencing their wins that much.
So here's what I'll say. When you take a look at this Clippers team, because first off, I didn't think we'd delve this much on the Clippers, bro. Crazy.
That's how it goes.
Man.
So
We
have
take notes.
So on the Clippers right now, the biggest thing that goes into it is you need a strong enough scoring option, clearly multiple, and you need the playmaking. When you take a look at their last 8 games, yes, they have been losing majority of them. But at that same notion, even with guys like Norman Powell being out, we just saw Zubac, who had a 46 or 48 point night, and then followed up with another 22 point night. These players, due to James Harden being on the court, are getting looks that they traditionally would not get. Because in reality, James needs to score on that team, but he also still needs to play make at a high level. He has to do a lot in order to win games. No,
I need
finish.
a choo-choo sound effect, bro. Bail train.
This is not a bail train. It's getting to my point, nigga.
Go for it.
What I'm saying is this. So, the comparison we have to make here is we're taking James Harden as he currently is, and we are going to literally compare playmaking and scoring and going at a lesser level and seeing if they can fit that spot. So, Drew Holiday, fuck no. Drew Holiday could not score enough on that team. He can play good enough defense, but right now, he has all the offensive options in the world, and he's on the Boston Celtics and still only gets you maybe 3-4 assists a game. He's having
but
damn
hold
near
on.
career
That's not.
level.
Hold on. That is not fair. That's not fair. Because
How's that not fair?
because their whole system is not about there being a primary playmaker. They play by committee.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
That is so
okay,
you'd have to go back to when Drew was playing on a team that required a playmaker, and that wasn't the Bucks either. That wasn't the Bucks either.
But hold on. Even though you say that wasn't the Bucks, his last year with the Bucks, he averaged 9 assists.
Well, what is it? Not 9, but yeah, 7 assists. But yeah.
Okay, it was like 7.5.
So let me ask you a question.
It was 7.4. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
yeah. What is it? What's the question?
So do you think James Harden was more deserving of an All-Star than LaMelo Ball?
Well, yeah, but I mean they're about the same. They're about the same, to be honest.
So
they do the same thing.
So would you trade? So if you swap the two, you're saying that the results are the same?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was just checking.
I do actually.
Yes.
I'd argue if I'm gonna have to take one shot chucker over the other, I'll at least take this one. At least score more points.
Yeah. And he's, I don't know.
Yeah, I think LaMelo isn't. I don't think LaMelo is really. I'm not really that moved by LaMelo like everybody else, but
I am. I love.
I mean, at the end of the day, he's still if they're both shot chuckers, and he is like marginally better efficiency wise, and he's scoring more points. Yes, he's better.
Okay, so I'm gonna go on to our next point guard then. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
These ones are on the same team. Jamal Murray.
Yes.
Oh
I think they're the same team with Jamal.
Okay, all right. Russell Westbrook. Current Russell Westbrook.
No.
But he's ass, so that's different.
Russ that's getting damn near a triple-double with Yoke?
Do you think I care about his triple-double when I watch the game?
Thank you.
It's because of Yoke, though. It's because
Hell nah, nigga. He sucks.
Okay.
Hell no.
D'Angelo Russell.
No. He's ass.
D'Lo can't play make. I saw it on the Lakers. He can't play make.
Give me somebody who's not ass, bro.
All right, so he's not a point guard, but he is practically, in my opinion, running the point on this team.
Okay.
Tyler Hero.
Yeah, they're about the same team with Tyler.
He can't play make at all. That's not his job.
He's averaging 6 assists.
That's what I'm saying. He's doing a fine enough job.
That's not enough for what they need. For what you need somebody who is like, how do I phrase this? I can't call him that on here, but if Chris Paul, if he was younger, if he was like 2 years younger, I feel like he probably would be perfect for that. And he was already falling off back then, but he was still a high volume playmaker.
Okay, I'll go.
So I got a perfect one. No, this one's perfect. Fred VanVleet.
Teed up.
Yeah.
Why are you fake thinking? The answer is no.
Fred VanVleet not better than James Harden.
No. He's not better than James Harden. He's not. He's not better than James Harden. But that wasn't the conversation. It was just about what he.
I don't think Fred VanVleet is a good enough playmaker to make up.
The only reason I say that is because I've looked at what happened to the Rockets when he got hurt. He's damn near, but it's kind of the same story. He kind of kept them afloat too.
I think the Rockets were deemed to fall off anyways, though. I think that's
they were. No, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. But if your team starts becoming trash when you get hurt, I just have to assume at that point that you are the reason that they're staying afloat.
So
I saw Fred try to take over the one duties in Toronto, and I didn't like him at the one. I don't really like him I like him as an off guard.
I feel it.
All right, I'm gonna give you one more point guard. I'm gonna give you one more. I'm gonna give you two more actually.
Okay.
Go ahead.
CJ McCollum.
No. CJ ass.
Yeah. I told you, give me somebody who's not ass, bro.
CJ
Okay.
ass.
All right. My last one is going to be Tyrese Maxey.
No.
Yes. I think they would. No, I don't think Maxey.
Back in your seat.
I don't think Maxey. I don't think Maxey's as good of a playmaker as James Harden, but he's a much better scorer than he is now.
That's true, but that conflates with.
It does, but I'm saying at the end of the day, I feel like he can pass. Like, he has better playmaking chops than Norman Powell. So at the end of the day, he could take a step back from his scoring, but he would still be a more efficient scorer than Harden would be, which would allow them to be more effective in their games. Because he would just make up for the lack of efficient scoring that they have right now.
I hear what you're saying. I think James is a better fit than Maxey there.
He is. Oh, he's a better fit, but I think he'd be fine though.
I think it would significantly impact their performance as a team.
So
I'm just not that big of a believer in Maxey's playmaking. I don't think he can run offense.
Mm-hmm. So what I did here is I tackled a few teams at the top, but most of those teams that we discussed were seated under where the Clippers are. So we looked at point guards that essentially are on worse teams, and they did not match up to James.
I got one.
Yeah.
I'll go one.
Hold on. Wait a second. The Rockets are below the Clippers now?
They're gonna be.
No, they're not. They're like 3 seeds. That's 3 spots above them.
Let me put it like this,
Cosmic. With a significant gap.
Let me put it like this, Cosmic. You remember what the Bulls were in 2021?
Of course.
I think you put Lonzo Ball in that spot, and the Clippers can be that.
Yeah.
I think if you were to put that Lonzo Ball, like healthy Lonzo Ball, in that spot, they would have had very similar results.
Wait, so I got a question. 'Cause I haven't really been paying that much attention to the Bulls. So how's Lonzo Ball's defensive capabilities?
He's still very
not
good.
He's not the same, but he's still very good because he's just smart.
Okay, so so do you think there's a massive gap between Lonzo and James Harden in terms of playmaking?
Right now,
yes. Well, yeah, now.
In terms of playmaking,
I think as a playmaker, I think he's great. I think Lonzo's very good.
So
I just think
so
at
if
the,
you
end,
put
at the end of the day,
Yeah,
he's
that's
just
tough.
at the end of the day though he's not the same player he was.
yeah, okay. So
Yeah,
if you, so
Yeah.
that's why James is better, because James physically has the ability to be better. Lonzo has
Yeah.
the ceiling.
okay.
Yeah.
Which is why, but this is why I'm not too sold on Embiid. But you know, that's another conversation.
Yeah.
I feel it. Who else we
Alright,
got to
but-
talk about?
Enough of the injuries and going on right now. Taking a look at the healthy teams that we have remaining right now, we're seeing a lot going on across the league. Probably two of the biggest stories right now are probably going to be between the Warriors and the Lakers right now. We just saw the Warriors currently right now. We've been discussing them and really watching the Jimmy Butler experience. And honestly, my first question is going to go to UT, because right now, with the Warriors being on a 9-1 run, what do we think about where this current team is? And has your opinion changed on where you think they could go for the remainder of this season?
Depends. No, because I don't think they can beat the two teams that they would inevitably have to meet in the second round or the first round, depending on seeding. This is what I mean. I do not think they can beat the Thunder. I do not think they can beat the Lakers in a playoff series. And no matter what side of the bracket you're on, you're gonna face one of those teams, either first round, second round, depending on if you're in the play-in or if you're not. The thing about it is, though, I think they can beat anybody else. Like, I actually do think the Warriors-Nuggets series is a much closer series than most people would think it would be. And if you told me the Warriors came out of that series, I wouldn't be shocked. Like, I'm just not a believer in the Nuggets. And if any of the... I don't see anybody else rising back up to the top at this point. But if they were to face the Grizzlies, I think they could beat them. They could beat the Rockets. They could beat any other teams below them, I think. So, the first round, if they stay at 6 and the Nuggets stay at 3, they have a second round ceiling.
Well, the thing is,
If they fall to 7 and face the Lakers in the first round, I think they're going out in the first round. I think first, second round is their ceiling. Unless somebody gets hurt, I don't see them making the conference finals. I just don't.
when I'm looking at who they would play, they would have to play the Nuggets first. And the thing about what you said is, do they have the personnel to use that strategy that we used?
No, but I don't think that they have to, because I think a big part of their strategy when they played the Nuggets in 22, and I understand they're a different team, but a big part of their strategy back then was
To throw
covering
Jokic in PNR?
Yes, and leaving everybody open. Now, the reason that's a slightly difficult strategy this time is because Aaron Gordon is shooting the piss out the raw.
It's not just that. It's not just that. They didn't have
Jamal.
didn't have MPJ or MPJ. He didn't play either.
Oh yeah, I forgot MPJ didn't play in that series.
Yeah, so
but
I'm
they
like-
also lost KCP. So
They lost KCP, but KCP wasn't even there at that time. So it was like,
Oh, KCP wasn't there, were they?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they were.
they
That
were
was
just
a
like-
very different Nuggets team.
They had Facu Campazzo on that team, bro. I'm not.
Yeah.
That strategy is fugazi as hell.
Is it? But the one thing that you do have to account for, even if you can't necessarily defend the Nuggets, right? The one thing you gotta account for, and I get it, maybe it's fantasy, but until it gets proven to be fantasy, bro, I saw Jimmy Butler take down everybody in the East single-handedly, and if that's your running mate next to Steph Curry. If playoff Jimmy shows up again, if he still has that, you gotta beat the greats. You know what I'm saying? And if that's the Jimmy they're gonna get, that Jimmy is better than playoff Jamal. And so at that point, it trickles down, and you gotta show me. That's a tough series.
I don't disagree, but I think that is, like I said, they have to
You gotta see it. Yeah, you gotta see it.
Because
Yeah,
the thing is,
I agree.
Because the team as it stands right now, They have one win that actually matters, and that even that has a caveat, which was the one they had against the Knicks, where Cat didn't play.
Yeah.
And people are gonna be like, "Well, y'all played Cat, and he sucked. He still made the game harder than it would have been without him."
Yeah.
This is what I would say. The Jimmy Butler trade has released the shackles that Steph Curry was being held under, man. That dude was people were saying he was declining heavy. Now Steph Curry, I'm seeing 50-point games, 30-point games. I was like, okay. Because now that Jimmy Butler's there, it's giving teams more to worry about. And if Jimmy Butler can show off his playoff Jimmy run, and Steph can produce that, it's gonna be harder it's gonna be harder because you're in a situation where you might have to pick your poison, because when Jimmy Butler does playoff Jimmy, you got to double team that guy. And if you got to double team that guy, what are you doing with Steph? You're giving him all the room to shoot the rock. So it really depends on how great they both be. They both have to be. But if they're gonna get far and if they're gonna cause upsets, those dudes need to put all timers. When I mean all time, I mean all timers that we're talking about it from like a couple of years from now or 10 years from now, saying, remember that game where Jimmy Butler got 50 on the Lakers, or where Steph was shooting like crazy. Moments that would have you remembering like the series. That's what they're gonna have. They're gonna have to put all-time legacy-defining games if they're gonna do anything in the playoffs. Because me personally, I agree with you. They're a second-round exit. I see Luka averaging like 35 on them. I see Braun averaging 27 on them, and I see them getting walked out in 5.
I don't know about 5.
I think they're getting walked out.
I personally think they might get walked down, bro.
Lakers in 5.
Because Luka, what does he take them? How many games did he take them to? 5 games by himself.
What? Against the Mavericks?
No. When he was the Mavericks and he played against the Warriors, was that 5
That was
games?
a 6-game series. It was a 6-game
That's even worse. A 6-game series with no Kyrie, and he definitely didn't have a Braun on that team.
His second best player on that team was Tim Hardaway Jr.
Exactly. So you want me to believe? And that team and this team, I mean, they have Jimmy, but outside of Jimmy, the team worse.
So
yeah. Well,
yeah, the team worse. That was the finals team. They had pieces that fit every type of like weakness they have, and they don't have that now.
No, but
I'm gonna let Cosmic go, but I have a take about that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think the biggest the biggest continuity piece throughout all of this has been everyone talking about playoff Jimmy and what we saw, because again, it really is that bubble run. I think a big thing that we have to also understand, especially when we made the comparison to Jamal Murray, even though playoff Jimmy had a better run, we've seen a higher occurrence of playoff Jamal in many different forms. And I think the biggest thing that we're not understanding is, like, if we get playoff Jimmy, which we saw one time, then we get a different Warriors team. We haven't gotten playoff Jimmy since the bubble. Outside of
I don't agree with that.
No, I can't even say that. We've had moments, because what happened after, right?
Jimmy's best playoff run was 23.
Yeah, I remember when he
even that conference run.
And 22.
Yeah, the conference finals run.
Jimmy in 2022 was amazing.
No, 22 is the one that I'm talking about. 22 was the one. They had those graphics showing Jimmy Butler's stats versus Michael Jordan.
Bro, he had
that's how crazy he was.
Let me go find you that game 6 he had against the Celtics.
Oh, I remember that game.
That nigga was going crazy.
That game 6. That game 1-2. That game 4.
So
we've had
playoff Jimmy twice in the last 4?
No, and he was great in 23 too for the first couple rounds.
I think playoff Jimmy has showed up at least in Miami more times than he hasn't. It's just 21 and last year, but last year he was hurt. So he
didn't go to the playoffs last year. He didn't. Yeah, there was no playoff Jimmy to see. He didn't go to the playoffs.
The reason why I'm saying what I'm about to say is the biggest difference between playoff Jimmy is the fall off in the playoffs with players like Bam Adebayo and the role players. Because Bam to me has not been the Bam in the series where they've made it to like what do you call it, that finals run. Bam was good in the first round. He was trash in the conference finals, and he wasn't the best. Like in
you said you're talking about when they played Denver?
Yeah, Bam was not good in that finals. I remember he was not that great. And
in the conference finals, he was pretty. I'm looking at the conference finals. He was pretty damn good.
The conference finals, he was good, but the finals,
really,
yeah.
because
But I'm sorry. But the problem I have with that take is everybody was not that good. Everybody fell back down to earth. Hey, wait a minute. Wait, what? He wasn't that good.
I think.
I'm looking at his numbers. He looked like he was better than Jimmy.
No, because he was.
Well, he was better than Jimmy because Jimmy wasn't good in that finals though.
Yeah, I'm like, he had 46% from the field, 91 from the line, 12 rebounds, 22 points.
I remember what.
Bam wasn't that impressive.
I remember what.
No, I mean like he was scoring the points that you had to score because nobody else would.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, I guess what I'm saying. He wasn't trash. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Saying trash is kind of crazy.
Man, he was. I remember. I was in the cool with Quinn. Quinn was getting angry, saying they should trade that dude because he was so bad.
Well, yeah, no, because I don't. Well, that's because of his own super ridiculous expectations of this boy. But different conversation.
Yeah, I think that when you look at the Warriors and the Nuggets, they're very similar teams. Their big men are their playmakers. They have unconventional point guards. They have wings that are switchable because they're decent size, but I think the Warriors wings are better defensively. Like I'm taking Jimmy Kuminga GP2 over Christian Brown, MPJ. Even though Aaron Gordon is there, I would take that grouping over them. And then I think one of the X factors that the Warriors have that could really make a difference in that series, Quentin Post is pretty good. But I know he hasn't been the greatest these past two regular seasons. Kevon Looney had a game during their finals run where he had 22 rebounds. When you got a guy that, yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you got a guy that is, Kevon in the playoffs is a competitive guy. And if you can unlock a little bit of that, he's very physical. We saw what him and Draymond were able to do to a guy like Sabonis. If you could get some real productive minutes out of Kevon, especially when like Jokic is not on the floor because they're running DeAndre Jordan minutes on the Nuggets, like in 2025. So it's one of those things where you look at their matchup, Warriors versus Nuggets, that'll probably be the best first round series we have in this playoffs if they match up.
I ran those number back for Jimmy. Nah, he only had a bad year in 2021. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy has been excellent in Miami in the playoffs.
Good, man. He's been one of my major nemesis in the East. So yeah, he's been
Jimmy prior to that also, what people forget about Jimmy is when Derrick Rose was in his last year with the Bulls, Jimmy almost single-handedly took the Cavs to 6. That year with the Timberwolves, he came back early from injury, and they were a top 4 seed in the Western Conference in 2018 when Jimmy was there. He got hurt. They fell almost out of the playoffs. No, they did fall out of the playoffs, and Jimmy came back early from injury and dragged them to the playoffs himself. Like, it's one of those things where Jimmy, for a long time, I get he's older and he's been injured a little bit, so maybe it's just not there because he's older. But Jimmy's history tells me when the chips are pushed to the middle of the table, he's ready to go. He's there.
So I got a question for you, man. If you get that version, the best version of Jimmy, he pulls it out, and you're facing against the Lakers, and you get Steph Curry from the year that they won their last championship. How many games is it going?
7.
Okay.
And I got the best Game 7 player of all time on my team. I'm taking him. You know what I'm saying? So
Jason Tatum.
I'm taking him.
You got Jason Tatum?
No, nigga. No, nigga. Shut up, nigga. Shut up, nigga.
I'm gonna back my guy back.
Didn't Jason get hurt in that game 7?
Against Jimmy. Against Jimmy.
That boy grabbed the first rebound and said,
my ankle.
I was like, yeah, he's a great game 7. He can't wait to see one.
What do we do when we played against him again? The year after.
Man, Jimmy wasn't there. You heard what Jimmy said.
Tatum wasn't there. Tatum was there, but he wasn't there. That was a hologram at that point. He could barely move.
That's funny.
Bro was deaf. Yeah,
bro had one leg.
That's correct.
That's funny.
All right, moving on. Now that we see what's going on, I think we clearly see, now that we've really gone through the numbers and the history, Jimmy really is going to be, if not already, impactful to this team. And for the way they're looking right now, I think they really could be something. Taking a look at the Warriors currently, they're sitting at the 6th seed with 35 wins. They're about 3 games behind from the 5th seed, which is going to put them in almost the 5-4, close to kind of 3. So they have a little bit of a run they can go on, a little bit of a stretch of wiggle room. But right now, I think if teams like the Rockets, continue to fall, I think they do have a really good spot to really clinch a good playoff position at this point. Yeah. But that's not the only team in the West that probably is making a lot of moves right now in the Western Conference right now. The next biggest one, if not probably the biggest one at this point, is the LeBron-chic Lakers right now, who are probably one of the most exciting teams we've seen in the league. Bron not only just hit 50K points in his career, obviously continued to extend onto his legacy, but taking a look at the Lakers over their last set of games, they are now 20-4 and have now moved up to the 2nd seed. It's crazy because I feel like when we first started doing this podcast, the Lakers were almost towards the bottom, or kind of in a weird position. And now
they were not. The Lakers, when we started this, were a 5th seed.
Okay, so yeah, so they were in the middle of the pack, and they've been managing to climb up, obviously, in the ranks right now. And obviously, as we kind of discussed earlier, things like injuries, again with the Mavericks going down, and just a little changes, obviously, kind of fluctuating the right side of the bracket here. It's very interesting. So, how do we feel about the Lakers now that they have this new acquisition? How are things looking for this team, and for where they're at right now? Where can we see them going overall as a whole?
A Western Conference Finals.
Yeah. Realistically,
if things
some
fall
people
their
think
favor,
finals.
If things fall their favor, they can win it all.
That's true.
You
would have to have a decent amount of stuff fall their way, but it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Because one thing I would say about the Lakers is LeBron is experienced enough, Luka Doncic is experienced enough to make it has been to the finals. They can savvy their way to the finals, and I generally believe they can win the NBA championship without being the best team in the NBA. We've seen it before. Yeah. We've seen that he's got the experience to do so, and if they do it, they are in good position to improve the squad next year and potentially go back to back. If they win this year, they can go back to back. If they get the necessary pieces that they need, which I think they will. If I'm the Thunder, the Celtics, I'm trying to win now before they try and acquire another piece, because I think LeBron James is going to come back even more motivated, knowing that we're close. Let's run this back again. And I feel like if he's gonna drop off, I feel like the drop off is gonna be like the tiniest margin that we won't even notice it. Because if you notice about LeBron, what you say?
I can't even say that, because at the end of the day, he should have dropped off already. But he's arguably better than he was last year.
No, I'm talking about from LeBron overall in the landscape of his career.
No, I get it. I'm saying at this point, I have no faith that he actually even will. I've been a long-term proponent that he is going to eventually one day just snap, and he's gonna be bad. But At this point, I can't even say that because he right now is arguably playing better basketball than he has the past 2 or 3 years. So at that point, I don't know how a 40-year-old who's going to be 41, who should be falling off to a dramatic degree, is going to arguably be at this level or higher next year.
I'll say it. LeBron, it's unless he gets injured, it's impossible for LeBron to be a sub All-Star caliber player. It's just impossible. He's just too good. Like he really is. The mental aspect of it is the most important part of it. But the fact that people keep thinking it's a fluke, but it's been like this for 3 years now. LeBron is an elite shooter now. Like, we just have to accept it. He shoots the piss out the ball, dog. Like it. So like he's never going to be weak enough to where he can't get to the basket. He's never going to be dumb enough to take dumb shots. And now that he's a shooter and he can play off ball most of the time, LeBron, until the day he retires, whenever that is, will never be a sub All-Star caliber player. It's never going to happen.
Did you know he also shoots above league average on mid-range jumpers too?
Yes, because he's just an elite shooter now. I don't know how he did it, but LeBron became an elite shooter for his career now. And the thing I will say about the Lakers, Cosmic, when I was watching us the last 3 games, right, I had a realization that I don't know why I didn't put together before. The Lakers are built exactly like the Mavericks teams that Luka went to the Western Conference Finals and the Finals with, where you have an athletic big man who may not be the greatest at pretty much anything, but they're serviceable at what you ask them to do. Jackson Hayes is a good passer out of the short roll. He's athletic enough to dunk. And somehow he's just become a better defender. I don't know if it's the scheme. I don't know if it's the buy-in or if the coaching staff has helped him a lot, but he's become a better defender. So you have a serviceable big. You have switchable athletic wings all around the perimeter. If you guys notice, Jalen Brunson, Tim Hardaway Jr., Kyrie Irving, Luka has always been a 1 with a scoring 2 next to him. People also think Austin Reeves is small. Austin Reeves is 6'5". He is not a small guard. So it's one of those things where you look at the Lakers roster, this is the exact kind of roster that Luka has won with. And if you want to say, oh, well, Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford are better than Jackson Hayes and Kyrie Irving is better than Austin Reeves, that's fine. But none of their wings were LeBron James. None of them. None of their wings were even Rui Hachimura, honestly. And none of them defensively were Vanderbilt. So I think, honestly, this is probably, I know it sounds hyperbolic, but when I'm watching it, I'm looking and I'm saying, is this just flat out the best team that Luka has been on so far? And it's one of those things where I think I say yes. And if you're going to say that, and Luka is going to adapt to the system as quickly as he has, the sky is the limit for the Lakers. I don't realistically think we'll be OKC, but at the same time, like I told BG, when you got LeBron James and Luka Doncic, you gotta beat them.
I'm gonna say this. One thing I noticed about elite players in all sports, basketball, boxing, football, is the biggest edge that they have is they're the smartest person there. And the thing about LeBron James is, and in a sport like basketball, LeBron James knows how to pick his spots. I've seen it with Floyd Mayweather. He had the hand injuries. People feel, okay, this is the guy that's going to beat him. This is guy that's going to beat him. And inevitably, there was never a guy that beat Floyd Mayweather. It was one of those things where he was so great for so long that people are going, okay, this is the year that he falls off. And even if LeBron does fall off, LeBron is smart enough to make the necessary adjustment, to add another wrinkle to his game, to add another addition to his game. I've seen this in football with Mohamed Salah, who's having the best year at 32 years old, when people said all this dude was a guy that just ran, that all he could do was run. Now we're seeing this dude pass at an elite level, and you're seeing the same thing with LeBron in terms of when he used to have the tag a run and dunk merchant. And now we're seeing him add wrinkles to his game. It's just really the fact that he's smart and the league, obviously, and I'm not trying to discredit him. The league is obviously a lot younger, so a lot of them can't keep up with the mindset of LeBron. So LeBron can stick around this league for as long as he wants, because there's not anybody that can get to that level of thinking, the level of knowing how to do less stuff. Because I saw a clip where said, "Oh, look at Jason Tatum's bag. He don't do none of these moves no more because he don't need to. You don't need to do all these exert energy. Sometimes you can just do the little basics, and you're conserving energy. And then when you decide to pick your poison, you can do this. Like, it's not gonna be Miami when he's jumping over people's head, catching alleys, D-Wade throwing the ball from the other side of the court. You don't need to do that.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he can't do that.
No, I'm just saying he doesn't need to do that. Even if he could, he doesn't need to. And that's the point that I'm trying to make. You got Luka Doncic, which has made the game a lot easier for him, because now he can decide to go, okay, if Luka's carrying the offense, man, I'm gonna focus on defending. That's where his defensive contributions come up. A lot of the time, with athletes is it's not about whether you still got it. It's about, do you still have the minerals and the know-how to know when to pick and choose? Because yes, you can hide being tired. You can hide being tired if you know the game well enough. So even if LeBron does have a weakness, you ain't gonna see it. And even if you can see it, can you exploit it? That's another question. So it inevitably doesn't matter. And plus, the guy's 6'9", too strong, too fast. Was a freak athlete, faster than everybody else. Now he can shoot. I've seen that he's getting 38% from free, 51% from the field. Like, it's ridiculous, man.
It is ridiculous, and that's the thing. With both of them, with both of their IQs, it makes it just very hard to beat us in any situation. Like, look at that Knicks game we just played. We were down most of the game. Every time we would score, they would just respond at just the perfect moment to keep the lead, even sometimes ballooning the lead. And despite that, going into the fourth quarter, I said, no, not the fourth quarter, the second half, I said, as long as we can keep it in single digits, I'm not moved by this game. I'm not concerned at all. Then we went to the third quarter, still looked bad. Then we went to the fourth, and I still wasn't concerned. And then we turned the game around in the fourth quarter because they locked in. And then when they locked in, they could not. They had control of that game. And this is us when we're not even healthy, because Austin looked like he had never touched the ball before, and Rui's still out. We have so much growing we can do.
Jordan Goodwin is out too. I know he's a G League call up, but he is very good for us defensively.
Yeah, he's a two-way. He's on a two-way, but he's not a real G leaguer. He's only a G leaguer because they don't have any space, because the league is full. Yeah. Because he does not belong in the G League.
Yeah. That's what it goes to show, man. At the end of the day, man, with these elite players, man, the reason why they have such longevity is really just their brain, man. They're smart. They're the smartest person there. They know when to rest. They know when to take breaks. They know when to take time. Like we saw Chris Paul finessing his way like through like coasting in the first quarter, and then you see at the end of the game that Chris Paul had a perfect game. Like you see Chris Paul be putting up those crazy numbers because he's the smartest guy on the court. The only difference between Chris Paul ain't 6'9", he ain't 260 pounds, and he ain't freaking LeBron James. So he can't.
That's what makes it more impressive.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yes, no, the greats will continue to stand out because of their addition to their craft, and that's why they can do these things at such a high level.
You know what's crazy as well, Cosmic? The crazy thing about it is every single great, everybody is waiting for them to fall off a cliff. This is the year. This is the year. This is the year. But a lot of these greats, man, they know how to finesse their way through this, man. Even if it's a rough patch, it's a blip.
Yes, no, they will. Consistency will always be there for those who are going to be at the top of the league, and that's exactly why the greats will continue to just have the titles as they are right now because of what they did for such a long period of time. So, if we're taking a look at this Lakers team and we're really buying into them potentially being a ring, we can say that with confidence that they are some not only very solid contenders, but it's very interesting to see exactly how they're going to do the remainder of the season. When you have to take a look at the West right now, I mean, they're sitting at it with the second seed with 40 wins, tied with the Nuggets at third. And then after that, everything else is pretty much within roughly a 5-game window going down to the 7th seed. But then after that, you kind of narrow down to the 3 seed and it goes down to just the 5th. But I think time will tell. I think this Lakers team is legit. I'm liking exactly what they're really producing right now. I think they're panning out to be the team that they were anticipated to be. We are just very in awe of the fact that we're seeing the results that we all anticipated, because we all thought Luka would be amazing on this team, and he's averaging damn near a 30-point double-double. Yep. With LeBron James, again, we just talked about him being an elite scorer, averaging damn near 27, with also almost a double-double.
One more thing I want to say before we get off the Lakers thing. If people don't know, I'm a Laker fan. I've been a Laker fan. I'm a Kobe Bryant fan, so I've been a Laker fan since 2010. So it doesn't behoove me to hate on my own team. You know what I mean? Like, coming into the year, last year, I told BG, I said, BG, I'm not saying we're excellent, but my roster is not this bad. Like, I was like, I know basketball. I look at my roster, and I know we're not this bad. Coming into the year, because JJ was a first-year head coach, I believed more in my roster than last year. But I also feel like the West got a lot better than last year. So I had us right outside the playoffs. I had us in 7th, fighting for 6th most of the year. And we probably end up in the play-in again. I have to do that play-in game to get into the playoffs. The Lakers, take Luka Doncic out of it. JJ Redick has done such a great job with my team. I really do think they are legitimately the second best team in the Western Conference. And I have to give him all the flowers in the world for that.
I just thought about this as you were saying it, and I have a question.
Go ahead.
When has LeBron James ever in his career been a 1st or 2nd seed and not made a finals?
It's never happened. Actually, no, 2009 or 10. I think that was the year they lost to Orlando. The year they lost to Orlando in 2009, I think they were the 1 seed. And then 2010, damn, were they 2? It goes back to the first stint in Cleveland though. It's never happened outside of that though. It's the first stint in Cleveland where it happened.
So since LeBron James early in his career, so Cleveland LeBron, like rookie LeBron.
Yeah. Nah, LeBron, because remember, he went to 8 straight finals. And the years that he didn't get to the finals, they were in the play-in. Like,
because
it really, like I said, when it comes down to whether they make the finals, it comes down to OKC. How good are you guys? That's the real question.
I mean, I have concerns about that one. But I mean, how I phrase this, I'm less concerned than I would have been if we wouldn't have traded for Luka. Considering that if we didn't trade for Luka, they would be throwing Dort on Bron, and Dort isn't like he's not a stopper, but he's there. He very much makes it very hard for the old man. Yeah. So if you're having to throw J-Dub on him instead, I have a lot more confidence in that.
Yeah.
I think that strength is too much for too many people.
I think this is the perfect way to transition into it. Speaking of Oklahoma right now, Oklahoma is sitting comfortably at the 1 seed right now. A team with 51 wins right now compared to, Cleveland, who has 52.
And they won today.
Neck and neck.
And they rested everybody.
Did they win today?
They won today, and they rested the whole entire starting lineup.
So here's my thing. I'll say this. Even though that is impressive, I will never be moved because you beat the Portland Trailblazers.
Nah, man, they rested everybody.
I mean, I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna be fair on the Blazers. They've been much better as of late.
You look at the players.
Aaron Wiggins had 30 points.
Yo, look at the players that played. They rested everybody. No one played.
Jalen Williams played center today.
No, Jalen Williams. Not.
Oh, that is center Jalen Williams.
Yeah, that's the
that
other.
That nigga had a triple double. What the fuck?
So once again, Oklahoma is already a good team, but I will never be moved because you beat the Anthony Simons and friends Portland Trailblazers. It does not do anything.
Hey man, Steve had a great game. That's what matters to me.
I don't give a van shit about him, bro. Like, that does not matter. But looking at Oklahoma right now, how serious is this team? Because for taking a look, we just discussed their bench and how amazing these players can be. Again, a player who had a triple-double. Their second string is performing at such a high level that it could almost be comparable to, let's say, your Grizzlies situation with you guys last year, Michael. You had a team that had nobody, but yet still were in a competitive standpoint. We've only seen a small sample size of it, but with this Oklahoma team, they have some depth, and they have a high future. So, where do we think they go this year? How deep of a run did they actually make? Where do they actually get stopped?
Are you talking about for what, the Thunder?
The Thunder, the Oklahoma City Thunder.
I mean, I have the same thought I had about them last year. Championship or bust. They were the number 1 seed last year. And the thing, because at the end of the day,
you thought championship or bust with them last year?
Well, I thought because they had essentially been a massive surprise, and the way that they were winning games at even last year was very similar to this year. The only difference was they actually had Chet healthy, and now they have a better team, but they're never all in the court at the same time, like the new additions.
What do
so now at this point, they were surprised because nobody expected them to be the 1 seed last year.
Yeah, because they were 10th seed the year before. They were the 10th seed the year before.
They were the 10th seed the year before.
Yeah, I was about to say they missed the playoffs.
So yes. I know they were the 10th seed before. But the thing about Oklahoma, too, I think this is a general consensus.
Mm-hmm.
We all knew OKC was going to be amazing.
No. That's a bit of a conflation. We knew eventually they were going to be it because they had like 1,000 picks.
Yeah.
So we knew eventually.
Thank you, PG.
And with Sam Preston Why are you saying thank you to me?
I said PG.
Oh, PG. I was said thank you. I was like, what? But no, like they have like 1,000 picks and they have Sam Presti, who's very good at picking draft picks. So it's already kind of known they were going to become good. The problem was always, when is that going to happen? And I don't think nobody expected it to be last year.
Well, I got a question.
Definitely not.
Did Sam Presti draft Kevin Durant?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
This guy,
Russ, James, KD. No, he didn't draft KD. He drafted Russ and James.
And
Ibaka, Steven Adams. He traded for Shea, drafted J-Dub and Chet.
So you're telling me this guy at some point could potentially have 4 different MVPs.
Hall of Famers. Yes. That's who Sam Presti is.
They need to build this guy a statue. They need to build him a statue.
Yes.
They need to build him a statue.
That's what I'm saying. Like Sam Presti was already, like, that's why we already knew they were going to become good at some point. But last year was not when I was expecting that to happen. And now they're here, and at this point they already filled the gaps that they had on the team this year. The problem is the person that they built this gap for, which was signing Hartenstein, they haven't been able to really utilize it because he hasn't been able to play most of the year.
Yeah.
So honestly, there's a good possibility we don't even see them at their full strength this year. And and them not being at their full strength are still a historic defense. Yeah. So at this point, if they don't win, then that's a failed season. Because at the end of the day, you are overwhelmingly better than the field in the West. So at the end of it, I feel like you probably should win. Now, but I do not find them to be an unbeatable team, but they are definitely far and away the best team in the West.
The record says it.
My view on them is this. I wanna preface this by saying I picked them before the season started to come out of the West. So it's not because they're the 1 seed that I'm talking like this. This is the perspective that I'm coming from. I've seen and I've studied NBA history, so I know some of the makings. How do you say it? Like the connections that go on throughout NBA history, where some things in NBA history repeat themselves over and over again. And what I see with OKC is OKC now is OKC 13 years ago with Kevin Durant. They are the exact same kind of story, and I'm gonna tell you why. When I watched them in the playoffs last year, I came away with a surprising revelation where I thought that Shea legitimately just flat out looked better than Luka, and I thought Luka was the best player in the world last year. So for him to outplay Luka in the series, and then I saw them match up earlier this season twice, and I thought Shea looked better than Luka in both of those matchups as well. That was surprising to me. Now, when I saw the jump that Chet was taking, because I was impressed with him last year, but when I saw the jump that he was taking, and when I saw J-Dub play, I'm just very impressed with their team. So, like, the criticism of them being too young, the reason why that's not a real criticism is because NBA history tells us that when one era is transitioning into another one, there's always going to be a little period of time where a couple of guys are going to get rings and it's going to look uncertain about who the team or the player of the future is. After that, there's always going to be a young team that emerges and says, we're here. And in the East, that's Boston. And in the West, it's OKC. And I think that if OKC makes the finals, if they play Boston and lose, that's not a failed season to me. That's a success. Now, you play anybody besides Boston, you better fucking win. Because I don't think that I know what the record says. I do not think the Cavs are on the same tier of team as OKC. I don't, as much as I love the Lakers, I don't think we're on the same tier of team as OKC. I think anything short of the finals and a loss to Boston is, I wouldn't consider that a success. They probably would in OKC. It's just my expectations of them. Everybody played bad against the eventual Western Conference champions last year, except Shea. And do you guys know that the Mavericks won that series by less than 10 points? Like, every single game was close. And that was their first playoff run. I expect big things from them.
Like I said, Shea, all eyes on you, because now you're the guy that could potentially win MVP. You're the guy that people say, we want to see you make it to the conference finals, because that's the bare minimum that a lot of people are having for you. So all eyes on you. This is going to be probably the most pressure you've probably ever felt. And I'm pretty confident that you can overcome it, but it's like I said, at least the conference finals. That's I need the conference finals. That's the bare minimum. If you lose to the Lakers, I'm not even going to be mad. I'm not. Actually, no, I'm not gonna lie. I'm lying. I'll be fucking pissed.
I'm about to say.
I'll be pissed. But
no, hold on. Remember if that does happen, you'll be hearing a lot from me.
Oh fuck! You're hearing this, man. And the stuff I've been saying about you on Twitter, calling you Canadian Kobe, man. Nah, man, you gotta cook. You gotta cook, man. I need you to cook, man. I need you to cook for certain.
If
Canadian
if Shea
corny, more like it.
wins, if Shea wins MVP and Finals MVP in the same year, he's the greatest Thunder ever already.
You know what you're forgetting? You know what you're forgetting, T-Dub? The scoring title.
Yeah, if he wins the scoring title,
already won that. He's
MVP,
already
and
won
Finals
that.
MVP in the same year, he's the greatest Thunder ever already.
And to me, that is such an impressive feat, considering the players that they had.
He's only 26. And it's hard to surpass Russ and KD, bro. Like
You're surpassing a guy that averaged a triple-double for like how many years?
2-3 years, two years with the Thunder in a row.
And then,
3.
I will say this though, I do think Shea may need to. We will think that he's the greatest Thunder of all time, but I feel like there'll be still a bit of a push. I still feel like there'll be a little bit of a pushback.
I do not.
You don't understand Russ fans, man. Or KD fans.
No.
The
No,
revisionism-
Russ fans for sure.
The revisionism.
No, Russ fans for sure. But here's the thing: Russ fans for sure. But the problem is, Russ fans, they're not the majority of the OKC fan base. Like if you're talking about the majority of the OKC fan base, I believe that would be. I feel like it would be a lot more of a more understood situation. It isn't as if he's like a guy who came to the team 2 years ago, and now they're calling him. He's been here for 5 years.
Yeah,
No,
Shea's
6 years. He's been
basically
here for 6
homegrown in OKC.
He's been here for 6 years. He was only with
that's
the Clippers for 1 year.
Yeah, he's basically
In 1 year, yeah.
You're right.
He's basically homegrown with
I
OKC.
will say this though, if the Thunder get one, and it may
Look out.
It may look ugly.
Look out.
It may look ugly.
Look out. If they get one
know-
if they get theirs this year, look out.
I can't
Look
even
out.
I can't even say it because we're saying about the Celtics too.
The Celtics, we
I
can still
think
look
it-
out
Nah,
for them. It's still dangerous.
Nah,
Not
the
a
reason
dangerous team.
it's a little different with the Celtics is because they've been on this run. Like
Look at the Bozos
Jalen
team as
Williams and Chet are on their rookie deals.
That's
true.
Like-
the problem though, actually, because now they're about to start having to pay niggas.
I don't think that's much of a problem because
Um,
those two guys are so good.
No, it's
Like-
not about. It's not even about. Here's the thing. It's not about them being able to actually like pay them. The issue when I say you have to actually start paying guys, is that they are. How do I phrase this? They have the new CBA. So if you're going to give 3 guys maxes, and you have your role players as well, because you're going to have to give Alex Caruso a new deal too, and you're going to have to pay iHeart by the time you have to give up J-Dub's contract too. So at that point, you have about 4 or 5 guys you have to pay real money to.
It wasn't there a point on the Warriors where Curry was winning championships on like a $40 million contract?
No, he does not.
Curry
Does
was
not.
winning
swear-
championships,
I
and
swear
he
he
was
was
the
winning
4th
stuff, I
highest
knew-
paid player on the Warriors.
What'd you say?
Yeah, Curry is now
Cur-
Curry is now a high paid player, but
I'm saying
I'm
when he
gonna find his contract right there.
first won the championship, he wasn't getting paid crazy.
Yeah, he
No,
was-
when
you said-
Curry
yeah.
when Kevin Durant came to the team, Stephen Curry was the 4th highest paid person on the team. It
When
was Klay
Kevin-
Thompson, Kevin Durant, and
I'm a-
Draymond Green above him.
I'm gonna tell you his contract for all 4 of those years. He made in his first championship he made $10 million a year. His second contract he made 12.
See?
He made 12.
Ew.
He only made real money in his third championship in 2018
Ew.
where he made 34 million.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And that's
Like,
still
That's
an
nasty.
underpay.
he was getting underpaid.
That's nasty.
He's like, and that had to
That's
happen for them
nasty.
to get Kevin
But
Durant.
but
Like,
the thing
they
is,
got lucky.
but here, yeah, because he had injury problems. But the thing is, when it comes to Shea, especially, and this is the biggest problem, Shea's gonna be up for a supermax.
You
He
give
gonna
to
take
him.
it, too.
You give it to him.
If he takes that supermax,
You know what mitigates that? You know what mitigates that? The fact that you got probably the best scouting department in the league, and you got everybody picks for the next decade. And it's not like you can't win with young players, because you got like the 2nd or 3rd youngest team in the league right now. You the 1 seed.
You're gonna take a superstar and replace him
Spooky,
with a
bruh.
young rising star for a cheaper contract.
I'm looking at it right now. So they
You're
have,
getting, you're getting a
bruh.
discount.
but
for the
I'm
same
gonna say it like
results.
this: in the current iteration of this team, they have a 2-year window after this.
That's true. Yes.
After
That's
that,
true.
they have to. After that, the supermax kicks in.
Okay.
And when
They
that's-
might get 2 championships in that team in that
like
year.
I said,
so.
and boom.
They might get 2
They,
championships.
they better hope that's the case, because if it isn't, then that I ain't gonna lie, that's team somebody getting traded. I don't know who it is, but it's one of their core. It's gonna be somebody in their core.
It'll probably be it'll be J Dub. If you got to trade one of the big 3, it'll be J Dub. But I hope they don't.
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you. If they don't win this year, I think one of them gets traded already.
Nah, you can't trade them.
That's
This year.
too
No,
early.
because the reason I say that is because of the looming skeleton, the looming 7-foot skeleton.
It depends. That depends. It depends.
Yeah, because I was like, if they don't win this year,
I still wouldn't do it. I'm like,
I wouldn't do it.
I don't want to give up J Dub for Kevin Durant.
Here's my thing. I
just
wouldn't
don't
do
wanna
it. I wouldn't do it. But why are you looking like that? You're the guy trying to put Kevin Durant on everybody's team.
Durant on my team.
I'm trying.
Yeah, you're trying to put him on everybody's team. I don't know why you're saying no.
I'm trying. Because I'm not gonna lie, man. Winning without Kevin Durant, for Shea looks more impressive. That's my narrative. That's my narrative.
Sure. I don't disagree. But I'm saying, if you're gonna try to put him on everybody else's team, why won't you put him on the team on your third team, bro? Since you don't know who you like.
What do you mean? I'm still Boston, man. But I'm a Shea supporter.
I'm not going.
All right, bro.
What?
I'm still Boston, but I'm a Shea supporter.
So who you got? Boston OKC matchup in the finals. Who you rolling?
I win.
That don't sound like a Boston fan to me.
I'm joking. I
That don't sound like a Boston fan to
go
me.
Boston. I go Boston.
Oh yeah, I know
But,
they gonna get on my
but,
ass for being a Laker fan and going for Boston too.
I'm
Though.
not gonna lie though.
You would be rooting for
I know
I'm not
Boston.
gonna lie to the team. I would be lying if I said I would not be happy seeing Shea win either way. I'm gonna be
I would too.
Yeah, Jordan be like, yeah, imagine, you have 2 kids and they play on opposite teams in the final. How'd you be sad?
Yeah.
You know what? If I have kids, I'm putting them on different teams.
That was like when Seth Curry and Steph Curry matched up when Seth was with the Mavericks and Dell and
The mom.
his mom, Sonya, they were wearing the different jerseys. Yeah, it's like that.
Like I said, if I have children, they'll be on different teams. They're not playing together.
He's trying to build a rivalry. He's trying to build the next.
And I'm gonna choose
Larry
one.
Bird.
And I'm gonna
Imagine.
choose one. I'm gonna choose one. And that nigga better not lose. If that nigga lose, bruh.
But you're gonna create that other kid gonna be better just purely for the fact you said that. He's gonna make a bucket and just look at you like Luka, man. Just look at the bench.
I'ma tell him I motivated you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You weren't ready for it yet. You were too young to understand.
I put the battery in your bag.
I had to neglect you.
No. I'm gonna show you.
I'm actually a good sports father.
I'm going to make you both understand that there's something that if you want to become the best, you have to be better than the guy next to you.
Right, exactly.
Respect.
I'm about to tell him I'm going to the store for some milk.
I'm gonna tell him whoever wins, you're the ones you're my son. The other one's not.
Damn.
Whoever win get dinner.
He said you lose your house.
Whoever win eat.
He said you lose your house.
I got one plate with one food.
I only got one room in the house. I ain't got one extra room in the house. Somebody gonna have to take it.
That's
He said if
crazy.
you lose, you're out of the family.
Yeah.
But I think I'm very high in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
I mean, Boston, their experience is there, and they've already seen what it's like to lose in the finals. I don't think that's something they would like to repeat, so I would give them some edge on that. But this Oklahoma team, again, they were the 10 seed last year. I think I'm the only one who really felt this way, but I really did feel like they were one key piece away from being a real contending team. And I think we've seen that already with Chet Holmgren being there. I think even without Hartenstein being there was already a bit impact, but Hartenstein was just icing on the cake. And for this team overall, they're going to do the same thing, like, again, history repeating itself, right? Let's go more recent. The Boston Celtics got to the finals, lost, and they went right back and won. If Oklahoma even gets a taste of that, I am more than confident they will be back in there. If they don't win this year, they'll win in the next 2 or 3. If they get it.
Yeah.
If they get one opportunity, they win in the next 2 or 3 because
What about your
I
team?
just think they're too well equipped. The Knicks,
Yeah.
we have to kiss the conference finals first off, which right now is looking very tough because we would need to have a miracle
Brunson.
situation where we could suddenly start beating good teams.
You'll need Brun back.
Yo,
I mean, yeah, that's
Cosman,
step
your
one.
city gonna be lit if you freaking win a championship, man. That city
yeah.
get burnt down.
If the Knicks win,
The Knicks win a championship, I'm coming to New York.
I'm committing crimes.
Yeah, I'm coming.
I'm doing
I'm
everything
coming.
illegal.
Yeah, I'm
Everything
coming.
that
I'm
is-
coming.
I'm
Wait,
We
doing
what?
partying.
I'm throwing a brick through the nearest bodega. Like I'm going.
Hey, what Funk Flex say? Go to your nearest bodega and put your hand in the cash register for no reason. That's how we rolling in New York.
Look, if you've seen Side Talk NYC, you're gonna see me on there. I'm going stupid, bro. But anyway, my Knicks aside, these two teams, I really think that the Thunder are one of the strongest contenders we're gonna have for a very long time right now. And getting more granular with this team, you mentioned it earlier, Blick. All pressure is on SGA, and when we take a look at him right now, when it comes to pressure, it doesn't really seem like he has a problem. When we take a look at our MVP standings, I'm pretty sure he's damn near the top of that list still right now. So, taking a look across the league right now, who do we feel is the actual MVP?
Shay.
Shay.
No, you don't even need to ask me. You know what I'm gonna say.
Okay,
Yeah.
comfortably we can say Shea, yes, dude.
Yeah. I want to say this just to be fair.
Mhm.
I think in any other year, Yoke wins it.
I agree.
It's just I think it's the fact that he won last year and he has 3
Yep.
and voter fatigue is a thing.
Yep.
And I God, it's my only thing with Yoke is I think he has his first 2 MVPs I wouldn't have given him.
What he give
The
him
one
to
he
Embiid?
lost to Embiid I would have given him. And the one last year I wouldn't have given him, but this one I would. You get what I'm saying? Like it's their voting has been opposite of me, but because my MVP last year was Luka, the one caveat I gave was if OKC goes from not making the playoffs to the 1 seed, I don't see how it's not Shea. And they didn't give it to Shea last year, and he came in this year. I need people to understand their second best player got hurt. Jalen Williams was playing 5 for them, and they were still winning games. Shea never scored 50 in his career. In the last 6 weeks, he's done it 4 times. This is the 3rd youngest team in the league, and they are the 1 seed. And it's because, yes, they have a good collection of talent. It's because of Shea. Like, his on-off numbers are crazy. His per 36 numbers are crazy. And I'm not even a stats guy, but you see it. Shea is the most poised person on the court every single time, no matter what position OKC finds themselves in. And anytime they need a run, he'll go get it by himself. Anytime they need a bucket, he'll go get it by himself. Anytime they need a really good play, he's going to make the right decision with the ball. And to me, like, him increasing his production and being the main reason why they're winning, and they're the 3rd youngest team, like, people try to act like that doesn't matter. It does. Young teams, even if they are talented, do not win unless they have transcendent players on their team. And Shea is a transcendent player. So to me, he is my clear-cut MVP. I'm actively rooting for him to get MVP.
Did you see?
I agree because then that means Jokic doesn't get it.
Damn. Did you see?
It's not even about that to
did you
me.
see,
I just
have
love
you seen
Shea.
Shea Split's post All-Star break?
Crazy.
I'm just like,
Like
this guy's
he's going
ridiculous.
bananas,
This guy's
dude.
ridiculous.
He's
man.
going bananas. Like I watched him. The most impressive game that OKC had to me was their win against Boston, because the Cavaliers exposed something in their defense about them not necessarily being the greatest at defending downhill drives and backdoor cuts at the rim. And the Cavs the Cavs lived in the paint and the Celtics lived in the paint, and they went into halftime down double digits. And Shea came out of halftime, and as a former athlete, I could just look on his face, and the face that he showed me coming out of halftime was, I promise to God I'm about to walk these niggas down. And then he did it.
Okay, so
And it was like, yeah, he's cold, bro.
Yeah.
He's cold. Like he's just so unfazed about everything.
yeah, T-Dub, I got some stats,
No.
man. Shea has had 59 20-plus point games. And this is from 2024 to 2025. 59 20-plus point games. 38 30-plus point games. 9 40-plus point games. And 4 50-plus point games. All this season. Crazy.
I'll give you even crazier stats. Most points this season. Shea leading 1998, right? Second is Shea through 3 quarters with 1690. Anthony Edwards is third, Jokic is fourth, Jalen Brunson is fifth. Shea is sixth if you take away his 3-pointers. Jason Tatum is seventh, Giannis is eighth. Shea, if you take away his free throws, is ninth. This is fucking ridiculous. That's fucking ridiculous. Like,
And it's crazy because I feel like people are so used to the conventional top 10. But he got to get in there somewhere at this point. He got to get in there somewhere.
Shea right now is in argument for the best player in the league.
I agree.
So
I don't think he is, but I see
I don't
it.
think he is either, but he's in the argument. Like,
Yeah, I see it.
you don't want to hit my take.
I don't
You
care.
think
I don't-
he
I
is
don't
the best
take-
player
I
in
don't
the
take
league.
your take seriously, so I don't. You're right. I don't want to hear it.
Man. Hey,
I don't think it's a bad take though. I don't think it's a bad take.
I don't see it yet. I think
feel it.
I think this is a good season, a great season for him actually, but I don't see it yet.
He's done 30-plus points 3 years in a row.
Yeah, no, 2 years in a row.
No, this is third year. This is
Is
right
it?
now.
Is it 3 years?
Yeah, check.
Oh,
Yeah,
it is
because
3.
he did it. He did it the year before.
And
too.
even the year
Oh, yeah,
before
I
that,
forgot
he was
they just
averaging
sucked.
like 26 points.
No, he was not. He was
can
24 and a half, and he was
So-
not 26.
Hey, it was close enough.
Nah, this guy almost 2 points, almost 2 whole ass points, and nigga said it's close enough. Niggas, stop. No, like the person who I still think is arguably whenever he's actually like healthy, is yeah, he's on my team now.
Yeah, Luka.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That is my answer. I don't. Yeah.
You think he's the best player in the league?
I
Yeah.
thought he was last year.
I thought he was last year, and this year when he right before his injury, he was already getting back to that level. And even on his he is right now, his floor is just too high.
It is.
He was dog shit to start off with when he joined our team, and him being bad was him. Let me go back to that game right quick. He almost had a triple double, bro. I think he did have a triple double.
He did. He had 12, 10, and 10.
Like Luka's first game with the Lakers, bro. What was it?
It was the fact that he went like 6 for 27 from the field, so he was shooting terrible. So everyone thought he was bad, but he still had a triple double.
Yeah, he had his first game. His first game with us. Now he had 14, 5, and 4, and I'm like,
and that was a good game.
yeah. He was.
It really was a good game.
Yeah, like he changed the dynamic of how they guarded us. So then he had the Charlotte game, another one after that. But even in the Charlotte game, the nigga had a triple double, bro. Almost had a triple double. He was amazing in that, and from that perspective, like he was ass, but he wasn't. But him being ass is that he had 14, 11, and 8.
Yep.
And then after that, he had missed the game with Portland, and then came back and averaged and had 32 points, 7 rebounds, what is it? No, not 7 rebounds. My fault. 10 rebounds, 7 assists, and 4 steals. And he was like on 46, 44, and 100 splits. He was amazing. And now at this point, he doesn't get anything below fucking like 25 points.
So let me ask you this: is your top 3 looking like no order? Jokic, Shea, and Luka.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
At this point, I think, what's that boy's name?
It's tough.
I think what's that boy's name? At this point, I think the 4th is obviously Giannis, but in terms of that 5th spot, I think that's completely up to grabs. I think it. I would like to say it's Tatum, but I don't think he's definitively a 5. The 5th.
Your webcam's frozen.
Is it?
Yeah, this dude
probably went dead.
This dude hasn't moved in like 10 minutes.
Oh shit. Yeah, no. When we take a look at the MVP standings or potential candidates right now, SGA really is just one of the best contenders we have for it. Literally one of the best teams in the league, one of the best performers in the league. We got other stars obviously as well. I mean, Luka Doncic. I don't know if I'd put him top 5, right? But I mean, he did just win Player of the Month, and honestly, I think he's playing amazing. You low key could debate LeBron James in the conversation if you want.
You could,
but you could throw him in that conversation. Giannis, the list goes on and on, right? Mm-hmm. But I think what's really gonna come down to is we just have to see how the season finishes out. I think if you see Oklahoma, which they're going to do at this point, clinch the 1 seed and just get that at that point, it's an automatic lock for Shea. Mm-hmm. Like at that point, it's just given to them. Yep. If they go a little bit, maybe it fluctuates. We'll have to see. If someone else randomly starts doing something, I don't think at this point in the season it would be up to the level of consistency that he has. So that could really be something, but another team that's looking like a big contender right now, maybe not as exciting as the Oklahoma City Thunder, but still, at least in their division, just as strong. The Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs right now currently sitting at the 1 seed at 53 wins. They are currently on another 13-game win streak. This is their 3rd of the season, winning 10-plus games, and they've just been on a tear. So being a semi-young team that are clearly well-constructed with a guy who potentially is the coach of the year, where do we see Cleveland going? And, especially when they match up against the rest of the league right now, do we have that same anticipation of them going all the way? Do we think that they need a little bit more? Where do we feel on Cleveland currently?
Conference finals.
I figured out how to... Go ahead.
Nah, just a conference finals minimum.
Yeah. If they don't make the conference finals, it's a failed season. I think I figured out how to explain why I don't believe in Cleveland. I think Donovan Mitchell is obviously their best player. I think in the playoffs, he has to be obviously their best player for them to actually win a championship. And I think that the reason that they're so good is because he's sacrificing and allowing the Cavs to do it by committee. And I just don't think that translates to the playoffs. So I think the Cavs, their best version in the regular season is the team that we've seen this season. But the best version of them in the playoffs is going to have to be a Donovan Mitchell dominated team when they face a team like Boston. And it's not that I don't think they can win that way. I just wonder if they're going to have the necessary experience to be able to do it. And I just don't believe in Evan Mobley as a second option come postseason time to be able to succeed against a team like Boston. I think that Darius Garland is too small. I think that Evan Mobley is... this is gonna sound harsh. I just don't think he's elite enough at skill. I don't think he's talented enough to be that. Like, personally. And I think that Jared Allen has already told me that the lights are bright when he gets to the playoffs. So I don't quite believe in them, but yes, anything less than a conference finals is a failed season.
Let me say this. I kind of had similar opinions about your take on Mobley. I think Mobley's good. I just don't think his level right now is enough. But I could be wrong.
I do think it's enough. Because of the fact that I think that he's playing within their system. I think he's playing within their strengths, and I think in a playoff setting when it is necessary for him to elevate, he will. Because at the end of the day, Mobley is probably their like second. If he's not their best, he's damn near their like he's a damn close second best defender on their team. Yeah. And which I think he's their best, and he's also elevated his offensive game, because at first there was a question of if was he going to be able to be what he was expected, what he was like labeled as, which is I think they kind of put him as like Kevin Garnett was his ceiling, and I'm like they had it, and right now he like in his second year people were calling him a little bit of a disappointment offensively, and now this year he's upped it by being a better 3-point shooter on a higher volume. So now, with that being the case, and the fact that he even has a couple 30 bombs under his belt too, I believe that's going to be something that's going to be necessary for them to win. Is for him to be able to continuously be there enough. A top defensive player, as well as somebody who can bring them consistent offense. And I think that's something I think that's something he's capable of doing now.
Oh, question: how many points you reckon? Oh, what's his stat line in the playoffs have to look for him to consider the good playoffs?
He just needs to average 20.
Oh, okay.
He's a forward. He's a 20-point double. That's it.
If they're gonna win a championship, he's gonna have to average 27 and 12.
27.
And I don't see him.
I don't think he has to average 27 and 12 because the person who shoots the most of their shots are their guards.
That's what I'm saying. In my view, if they're to be a championship team, the way that they've been playing this season is not gonna get it done. Like, because Darius Garland is too small. I've seen him. He gets bothered by size.
I agree.
And their offense is going to become Donovan Mitchell centric when they face Boston, and the next guy after that has to be Evan Mobley. So like to me, like when I look at because he's not at his ceiling right now. So I understand the ceiling is Kevin Garnett. But I'm going to go off the comparison, for example, right? When Kevin Garnett won his championship, that was a Paul Pierce-centered offense. The reason why it worked a large degree was not only because of the scorer that Paul Pierce was, but their other guard in Ray Allen, well, really the wing. Their other wing in Ray Allen. What he was able to do was Ray was there as their big shot maker. Like, he did not need the ball. He could get it off anybody's hands, whether it was Paul Pierce kicking it out to him, whether it was Kevin Garnett, whoever kicked it out to him, Ray Allen always had a shot where he was confident he was going to make it, and for the most part, he was. If you go and look at Ray Allen's clutch numbers, he's one of the greatest clutch shooters of all time. And I think that you need two pieces like that. And I think you have the scorer and the playmaker in Donovan Mitchell, but I don't think you have the off-ball threat in, like, I don't think Darius Garland is that. I don't think he's that. And so that's why it's just, I'm not quite believing. I think Evan Mobley is going to have to go to another level offensively if they're going to have a chance to win a championship.
So, I'll say this, because I've watched a lot of Cleveland. And for anyone who doesn't know, I am a very big Donovan Mitchell fan. Very big.
That's your guy, man.
That is my guy, dude. Evan Mobley is the second best player on this Cavaliers team.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If you take a look at his numbers, even though relatively throughout his career, they are really not too different. Like this year, he's averaging 15, 9, and 3. And then going back just the previous year in 2023, he averaged 16, 9, and 2.8, so practically 3 again. And then after that, last year averaging 15, 9, and 3 again. Like his numbers are consistent. So the problem with Mobley is he's never really gone up in terms of, I guess, overall like offensive ratings. But at the same time, he is arguably the best defender on this team. He's averaging almost 2 blocks a game. He's a stretch big that can go all over. He's now adding the 3-ball to his game. And when you have nights where, respectfully, Jarrett Allen should be stepping up, when he's not doing it, Evan Mobley, just like throughout his career, he's consistently still doing his job on a nightly basis. And when you take a look at Donovan Mitchell, yes, Donovan Mitchell is a highly skilled enough playmaker. We've seen him in the playoffs plenty of times overperform, so we know he can live up to what's needed to get them to that point, yes. But there are issues with them as well, too. Because even though they have the right pieces, there are still pieces on the team that don't do the right thing. Like, again, Darius Garland, 100% agree. He does not match up well with size. And for him to be an off-the-ball scorer, he's not that. But that's also why Cleveland went out and got a guy like DeAndre Hunter, someone who can do that. So it's like when you see they have the pieces to get it done, what one guy can't do, the other guy can. So Cleveland has the pieces to get things done if everyone performs up to where they should be. But I think with Mobley's consistency, plus, again, let's be real, too, he wasn't healthy, I believe, last year, correct?
He was not.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so we now have him coming back on a year where, again, was not healthy, came back, is performing still at that high level as before. Donovan's still performing at that high level. Darius Garland's rather streaky, but still almost somewhat consistent, and then you added practically the 6th man of the year, almost to your starting lineup practically. It's like, and then you still have a very strong defensive presence as Jarrett Allen. Like, they have the pieces. If Cleveland's going to win a championship, I don't think Evan Mobley's going to be the problem. I think the biggest problem they're going to have is Darius Garland. If Darius Garland is going to struggle the way that we think he already does with bigs, he's going to have a problem. And if he has a problem, realistically, we've seen it before, Donovan Mitchell, even when he's doing his job, if there's someone on that team not doing their part, he can't go anywhere. He saw it throughout all of Utah. He saw it when he didn't have Evan Mobley last year. If he's missing a piece or does not have something there, nothing will move for him.
You're right.
The team is not skilled enough to where they can be affording to miss a piece. Mm-hmm. They're just not there. While like Oklahoma, for example, Oklahoma could miss a piece almost. Oklahoma could potentially miss something, but Cleveland, they need everything to make it work.
I disagree with that sentiment.
Why?
Because at the end of the day, they're beating teams with their G team, with their like C teams and shit like that. But the problem is that's in a regular season game against bad teams. If they were to say, I don't know, played with like without Chet or without iHeart, I don't think they're gonna just be like. I don't think they have like they're gonna have nearly as much of a favored outcome because it's a series. It's a series.
Teams can make adjustments. Yeah.
No, I don't think they can.
They can win without Hartenstein.
I don't think they can.
I don't think they could either. I think there's a reason they went and got him. Chet's not a 5.
Yeah, the thing is, if you, because people thought I was silly when I said this, they got them to run double bigs. They're going to run iHeart as a traditional 5, and they're going to run Chet as a stretch 4, and they've done it when they were healthy. The thing is, if they don't have that means you have to have Chet face up against physicality and size.
He just can't do. He's too frail for that.
Exactly. So you can start. So that gives you something to it. You have a weakness you can exploit at that point.
If anything, you might even get injured.
Yeah, and at that point, you don't want that. So if they were to lose iHeart, that's the problem. If you had iHeart but no Chet, that means I have something that I can roam off of. I can, and at that point, now I have something. Now I have a player who is now a liability for your offense, because now I can start executing that strategy of forcing him to actually shoot threes because we can funnel you out of the paint.
So
I will say this though.
So they can't be healthy. So all of them. Hold on, one quick thing. All of them have to be healthy, because a series is different than a regular season matchup. Because when you get into a series, you have 7 games, and you have 4 chances to beat the team. What that means is you have a bunch of time to lock in and strategize and pick apart the team's weaknesses, because everybody has weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
And playoff basketball is a very different brand of basketball than regular season NBA basketball. Mm-hmm. It's a totally different game. It's a totally different game. Now, the one thing I will say for Cleveland, Ty Jerome and DeAndre Hunter.
And Dean Wade.
Dean Wade too, but especially Ty Jerome and DeAndre Hunter, they can really change things. Because even if Darius Garland has a bad series, if those guys do what like Derrick Jones Jr. and them did last year for the Mavs and just play out of their fucking minds for like 6 games, that changes a lot.
I will say this: Donovan Mitchell going to have to average 30. Donovan Mitchell has to average 30.
That's not a problem.
Against who? Against
I'm just talking about the whole playoffs.
Boston.
The whole playoffs.
No, not the whole playoffs. He doesn't have to do
that.
I
don't think the whole playoffs.
We're talking about the East, brother.
I'm thinking conference finals and finals.
Yeah,
No,
I agree with that.
I'm saying he can't. I'm saying he can't ghost.
No, he can't.
He typically doesn't.
He doesn't ghost. No. Here's the thing. He doesn't. He typically doesn't ghost, but he could ghost. Because look at who he's be playing against. Okay, the 7th and 8th seed is the Heat and the Hawks. If the Heat and the Hawks, so depending on who wins that, it could be that means he might be playing against the Magic or the Hawks or the Hawks / Heat. If he's playing against the Magic, they'll win. They'll win, even if he goes to a couple games.
I'm saying if you look at the matchup you named, and plus he shows up in against Boston, theoretically he should be averaging around 30 points.
So here's what I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
A big reason why he does not need to average 30 is because him not averaging 30 is a big reason why the team is winning now.
Correct.
Donovan Mitchell has never had, even though he at one point with the Utah Jazz, I believe were the 1 seed in the West, and they looked amazing, he has never had this many offensive weapons on a team before that were this skilled.
Exactly.
And that's coming with having a Hall of Famer DPOY and Rudy Gobert. Disgusting. But the thing is, Donovan Mitchell right now is averaging 24.6 points per game this season. That is the lowest in his career. And yet his team is comfortably sitting at the 1 seed where they actually look like they are contenders. So Donovan, we know, has the skill set to average 30. But if he's trusting the data here, if he continues to allow his team to play make and to get everyone involved, that is more winning basketball for him.
I see that, but my pushback is I don't think Cleveland are going to win by committee. I don't think they can win by committee. I think someone's going to have to, like, because there's going to be points in the series. Someone's going to have to go, I'm him, at certain points. I think the whole by committee thing works if Boston just become bozos, which is very possible. But against like whoever comes out in the East, whether it's the West, whether it's the Lakers or the Thunder, I don't think the committee thing is gonna really be enough to beat those X factors over there. In my opinion,
I think
it's hard to win a championship.
I think Donovan is very. Donovan had the, like Cosman said, Donovan had the Utah Jazz as the 1 seed running out there with Royce O'Neal and Joe Ingles. And then
Mike
you got
Conley.
niggas talking some, they the best shooting team in the league. They the best shooting team in the league. Shut the fuck up. It ain't nobody over there. It's just him. It's just him.
Joel's crazy. He was never in MVP conversation when he was doing that. Joe.
Never. He was never in MVP conversations. It was wild. And then niggas want to tell me he ain't never been to the conference finals.
Well, have you seen
Shut the fuck up, nigga.
He said Rudy
Shut up, nigga. Shut up, nigga.
Dude is a vegetable. Rudy Gobert is a vegetable offensively. Useless.
No, Donovan Mitchell, for the team he has right now, he's very new to this situation, but there's a reason why he signed that contract extension. This team has a high ceiling. They have a high ceiling. They are a young, strong core. Offensively, everyone gets involved, and defensively, the team is just about locked in. So, I think there are multiple ways that Cleveland wins. It's like, if Donovan's averaging 30, I think 100% that can contribute towards winning basketball, because that's what we've seen in the offs, right? I also think that if in a world where Donovan's averaging 30, I think to be a championship, I think in that same world, Evan Mobley does have to give you 27 and 12 every night. Because for a stretch big that versatile, he also needs to give you 2 blocks per game. For a stretch big that versatile to do that, he has to give you that. Which, by the way, he's averaging 2 blocks per game right now. So it's like he has the. When you guys are doing 16, 9, and 2. I mean, give that with a Jarrett Allen giving you 10 boards, maybe close to a double-double. Like, you're kind of looking decent, but
I will.
When we take, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. I will say this. I do think there's gonna be a game where you guys saw Cleveland versus the Celtics, and how Tatum was cooking, Brown was cooking, they still lost. I do think there's gonna be a game if they go up against Boston, where Donovan Mitchell might have to do what he did in that game again, because it is rare. I mean, like when I've watched the Celtics, it is rare where I see Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum both play well at the same time and they lose. I don't see that happen that often. It's happened more often this year, but I rarely see that happen. It's normally one or the other's playing bad, or they're just both having an ass off. So if they're in a situation where that happens, someone got to step up. Whether it's Donovan Mitchell, whether it's Mobley, someone got to step up.
Yeah, someone does, but I guess that's the thing. I mean, if we'll see someone step up who gets it done, I mean, Oklahoma, Cleveland really does have that ceiling.
I won't be shocked. Cleveland can legitimately win the championship this year.
Yeah, and ESPN.
Yeah.
I believe in Donovan that much. Yeah, they do have good players.
It's so funny. They could win the championship, but they'll get 5 minutes of airtime, and then we go cut to how does this affect LeBron's legacy?
Absolutely.
Actually, I'm not gonna hold you. That one would make more sense. That would actually at least make a little bit more sense to do that.
No, it would make sense. It would make sense, but they're gonna take away from what Cleveland did. That's the point. It would make sense.
I don't want to say that.
Huh?
I don't want to say that. We've been recording a long time.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to say that because that'll spark a debate.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna save it for after.
Oh, okay.
So we can put it in the notes for next time.
Oh, okay.
We'll have enough time.
Okay. Yes, I think that's the perfect stop point right there for it. But overall, the league has been crazy. We have a lot of new contenders, a lot of shifts for teams that were potential contenders. And as we're getting closer to this playoff run that we're about to get into, I think this is probably going to be one of the most exciting times that we've seen in the last few years for the league. I'm really curious to see exactly who comes out as MVP in the history that could potentially be made by a guy like SGA. Really excited to see not only what goes on for the remainder of the season with the Lakers as well and this LeBron relationship under this JJ Redick coaching, but even taking a look at the teams right now that just are going to be entering in the rebuilding and just what's to be set up for them. This is going to be a very defining season, and I think honestly it's going to be very interesting to see where the league just goes forward. So outside of that, I think this is a great podcast. I'm very excited to kind of see what goes on for the rest of the week. For anyone watching, definitely go ahead and leave a comment below and tell us how you're feeling overall on your favorite team. How are things looking for you and your franchise? Who are you most excited to really see pop off through the end of the